The Philippines has a drug problem, a big one. Their war on drugs has led to a brutal and bloody crackdown by police and vigilante groups, leaving almost 2,000 dead without charge or trial in just 2 months. And the US just promised $32 million to the Philippines to help win the fight against drugs. But what exactly will that money be supporting? Drugs are a big business in the Philippines. It's been that way for decades, but the country's new president, Rodrigo Duterte, has made it his mission to change it, even if it takes extreme measures. The Philippines has the highest usage rates of methamphetamines in Southeast Asia. Locally, the drug is referred to as shabu. The country also plays a major role in the global drug trade. So why the Philippines? Well, it's all about location. Materials from China and India are imported by Chinese syndicates, then made into methamphetamine and redistributed. And drugs from as far away as Africa and Mexico have been transported through the country. Enter Duterte. During his 20 years as mayor of Davao, he fought crime and drugs using unorthodox techniques that some compare to those of a police state. Human rights groups say that he used armed death squads to hunt down suspected criminals. When running for president, Duterte said he'd order police to shoot to kill suspects of organized crime. He's also said he would protect civilians who engage in violence.
Do your duty, and if in the process you kill 1,000 persons, because you are doing your duty, and I will protect you.
And he has. There are nighttime raids by police and vigilante groups who pull people out of their homes and sometimes shoot them on sight. Kill lists of those allegedly involved in the drug trade are distributed. And since police and vigilantes are free to respond with deadly force, the accused don't get to argue their innocence in court. The result? In the first 7 weeks since his term started at the end of June, at least 1,700 people were killed in the streets by police or vigilantes who say they were part of the drug trade. But families and human rights groups say that at least some of the victims were in fact innocent people mistaken for criminals. Because of his reputation, Duterte is known as the Punisher, but he has a lot of support from Filipinos who want to see their country cleaned up. Opinion polls show 90% of citizens support his tactics, but the UN and the US State Department have criticized the extra-legal killings.
We strongly urge the Philippines to ensure its law enforcement efforts comply with its human rights obligations.
In response, Duterte threatened to withdraw from the UN. But US Secretary of State John Kerry still promised the Philippines millions of dollars for training police in the war on drugs. So should the US be helping fund Duterte's campaign of fear?